You're not supposed to spawn over here. What are you doing? Oh. Okay, perhaps I missed some. Every farm ever. Welcome in this farming tutorial video. Today we are going to build this Creaking farm that I have shown previously and that I am going to build in my survival series. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into the tutorial. For this farm, you will need 6 observers, a creaking heart, 2 pale oak logs or equivalent. See the mechanics video for more details. 1 container, in my case is a barrel, a hopper, 2 pistons, sticky, a bucket of water, 1 fence gate, 16 fences or walls, 8 solid blocks, and just about a stack of leaves. The last requirement you have for building this farm is actually having a clear area. You can see here, this in red is actually where the Creaking can spawn, which is a 16 wide radius cube and 8 tall radius from the Creaking heart. There must be no valid spawn point for the Creaking. This means that all the blocks must be either air or a very specific list of blocks. Pointers to the other video in which I'm explaining everything of this. But you can see we are using leaves as spawn-proof blocks. So, we start first by placing down the block on top of which the Creaking is going to spawn. From this point upwards, you want to count 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on top of the 8th block, you are going to place your Creaking heart sideways. After which, you will place down the 2 pale oak logs. Be sure not to activate this Creaking heart yet, because we are still lacking the entire farm. You can do this by either building it in the day, or by just placing one of the 2 pale oak logs in a sense different from the one of the Creaking heart, so it doesn't activate. You can then remove the counting blocks, and then we can move on with building the actual redstone around this spawning beam. You want to go 3 blocks out with solid blocks and then place on top of it a piston facing inwards towards the Creaking heart and the already placed logs. You can get rid of this block, surround it by solid blocks on 3 sides, not the topmost, it's useless. And then in front of these 3 solid blocks you want to place the observers facing inwards towards the Creaking heart. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Make sure that each and every observer has a solid block behind it. Next up, we are building the walls of the chamber in which the resin is going to fall. You want to basically extend the walls made by the observers and then finish it off, connecting everything together in this nice 3x3 square. After which we are going to build the bottommost part of the chamber. You want to cover everything in leaves but for 1 block, because on that you are going to place a solid block. This is needed because you want to place water on top of it. Before placing down the water, break one of the walls and put down a fence gate and open it. This way the items are going to be able to flow through and fall down once the water is in place. And cover then the only solid block with water. This also is a way to spawn-proof something. And last but not least, you want to cover everything with leaves on top of here. And even extend upwards the walls so that when the resin pops, it doesn't fall out to the sides. And you also want to extend this a little bit downwards, this funnel. Last thing to build is actually where the Creaking is going to spawn. You want to surround it by 2 layers of fences. One on the top of your head, let's say. So basically 2 blocks from the ground and cover it by another one. You potentially could just do one ring on this block here. I prefer to do two to avoid making eye contact with the creaking. The very last thing is just placing down the barrel, or well, the container and the hopper for catching all the resin that is going to fall through the funnel we have already put in place. To finish it off, you just have to activate the spawning beam by placing correctly down the pale oak log, or by waiting nighttime. And there we have it. Once your creaking is spawned, you can then now start farming for resin by hitting the creaking, and there it comes. Obviously, you want to make a let's say, more performing item collection system by perhaps extending these blocks downwards, or just placing the item collection system over on top of the farm itself. The creaking heart summons resin just once every 5 seconds, I believe, so it's pointless to have an auto clicker continuously hitting the creaking. Instead, you want to time it right to just harvest the most possible amount. And there we have it. Very simple, very easy, and very comfortable, because as long as you don't place anything valid inside the enormous red cube, which is the spawning area of the creaking heart, by perhaps either building the farm inside the ocean or on top of a very tall peak, the creaking will always spawn in this very same spot, allowing you to just comfortably farming this material at night, obviously, because creakings do spawn only at night and die when the sun rises. I thank you for having followed me until this moment. Leave a like if you enjoyed this tutorial, and be sure to let me know down in the comments if you have some improvements to this design that you would like to see. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you have a more performing design that you have found, or you would like to make some amendments, or you would like me to make some amendments to this design to improve it further. Thank you, and until the next farming tutorial video.